version of the independent. We talk about what's going down up in this wrestling business. Hosted by the boss, his name is Cody Fleming. That's the homeboy. Go home, boy, before you get evicted. We about to get it on. Your boy Josh Harper, the favorite in a row. The real deal, Hill, Daily Bills is a beast with the mouthpiece. Talk dumb and up on the floor. Tell me where to go. Every week we do this. Hit him with a little bit of sweet chin music. And I only beef over cake like Brutus. The barber and then over MIW go hard like. Where do we come from? What do we do? Dissect matches and break down moves. You're tuned in to an interlude. When I look into the middle of your mind, that's an interview. Independent, you better get with the movement. We only winning, we never been in the losing. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and see us on the news.
Hey everyone, and welcome to a fantastic episode of Michigan Independent Weekly. We're your hosts, Josh
and Cody. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up and subscribed yet, you should, because Danny is currently out hunting those people down right now. We warned you, so smash the thumbs up for your own safety.
Unfortunately, Danny isn't here today, but he will be back next week. And, you know, since he's not here, I guess I'm going to be the one to tell you about Podbean. That's Podbean. Podbean is a great place to find podcasts out there, and it is the home of Rasslin Rage, MIW, and a plethora of different interviews and matches that Cody's been putting out there. So that way you can listen to them when you're out driving, riding your bicycle, working on the garden, whatever you need to do. And if you're thinking about starting your own podcast, Podbean can help you out there. There's a link below. If you click on that, you can get a free month of Podbean. So there's two links below. One, so you can listen to us, and one, so other people can listen to you. Make sure you click both links.
Yeah, a free month, man. That's pretty amazing. I wish we would have got a free month.
Right?
But we didn't have the link. We didn't have the link.
When I was your age, we didn't have links. We had Zelda, that was it.
Right, there you go. But we do have to thank our sponsors. Happy Harper Ice Cream. The best damn ice cream in the world. Yeah, I said it. Check the description down there for a link to their Facebook, or type at Happy Harper Ice Cream on Facebook and you will find them there. Make sure you message them, follow, and order all the ice cream. All of it. To the point of where, like, he doesn't have to work anymore and he makes so much money that, like, Rasslin Rage and MIW are fully funded. That'd be great. Thank you. Awesome. Anyways, also, big shout out to BCWA. BCWA is one of the top family-friendly organizations in the state, man. One of the top, for sure. You can follow them on Facebook at GoBCWA, or you can check them out on their website, gobcwa.com. Super, super simple.
Right. You don't get any more simple than that.
No, sir.
But don't forget, Rasslin Rage is live every Sunday at 8 p.m. MIW is every Tuesday. Once in a while we go live, and you got interviews on Wednesday. You've got interviews or matches on Friday. I mean, there's not a better time to hit that bell, because there's always different stuff that's popping up. So hit the bell, be notified every time something new comes on.
You like ringing that bell, don't you?
I love ringing that bell.
Right. Awesome. That's right, Josh, though. There are interviews coming up this week. 2, to be exact. Dos. Number 1, Jexy Black. You'll be able to find that on Wednesday, May 20th. And then another interview, which I don't normally do 2 interviews a week, but I said, what the hell? Might as well. You know?
Right.
He was on the He was on the show Sunday. I talked to him today, and I said, Tommy Vendetta, my guy, my brother from another mother, we need to sit down. We need to have a conversation about wrestling. My phone's going ballistic right now. Anyways, we need to have a conversation. So on Friday, May 22nd, you will be able to listen and watch 2 interviews. 1, Jexy Black, which will be on Wednesday, and then Friday, you will be able to watch Tommy Vendetta. And then you will be able to find those, all like Josh said, on Podbean eventually as well. But that's later this week. Today, we are talking about one of the greatest things. One, not the greatest, but one of, okay? I would say about indie wrestling and about pro wrestling overall is rivalries.
You gotta love rivalries. Rivalries is what will define any situation. I mean, like, there's the rivalry between my car and potholes, or the weatherman and the weather that's actually outside. I know there's going to be a rivalry coming up real soon between my uniform pants and the weight that I have gained. Because that's not going to work. They're going to have to reinforce those buttons. Yeah. But hey, you know, Cody and I have come up with 4 each of our personal favorite rivalries from Michigan independent wrestling. So if you disagree, comment below. Absolutely. Share the posts. Tell us how stupid we are. Stick your head out the window and scream at the neighbors. I mean, it's not going to do you any good, but it might help you feel better.
Maybe a little bit, like warm and fuzzy.
Right.
I don't know.
Spread the misery to others.
Right. That's all right. You know, but again, yeah, make sure that you comment down below and let us know what's your favorite rivalry? Do you have a favorite? Maybe you're not from Michigan and you're watching from somewhere else just to keep up on Michigan independence, and you have a good rivalry down there or anywhere that you're at. Comment down below with that rivalry and maybe give us a link to somebody's profile so we can check out a new wrestler, because we like finding new people.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a wrestler I've been watching in Tennessee. I wish he'd come to Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Talking about rivalries here. I'm sure there's been plenty of rivalries before us in independent wrestling here in the state of Michigan. I'm sure there's many others that we're not going to mention. These are 4 for us. These are 4 that we hold to us, like that we think are awesome. That you know, it's our opinion. Right. So, you know, like Josh said, if you disagree, description, say so, or not description, comment, whatever, hook it up. Right. And we talked about it before. Right. And we talked a little bit about it on Rasslin Rage Sunday night with Aaron O'Ryan, Tommy Vendetta, and Jack Price. And we talked about August 18th, 2019. At the Crowfoot in Pontiac, Michigan. Okay. What happened? DTA, well, at the time, members of CIRA Clan, Aaron O'Ryan, Jack Price face the fun-loving criminals, and they lose. They shake their hands after the match. Johnny Delicious comes out and says,
"It's okay that you lost. It's okay that you shook their hands afterwards. It's okay that you couldn't get the tag team championships. But it's not okay for CIRA Clan." And then they attacked him.
Yeah. And there was a moment where we thought that one person by the name of Master Weaponized Alex Weir, Weaponized Master Alex Weir, Moonsault Mint Dude, whatever his name is, he came out and we were like, oh, he's going to save the day. And he didn't. Instead, he spin kicks Aaron O'Ryan in the face and he grabs his boy, Jack Price, or who we thought was his boy, Jack Price, and he elbows him in the face several times. And then the CIRA Clan, the remaining members in the ring, join in. So we have DTA versus the CIRA Clan, rivalry-wise, right? It hasn't really been fully developed yet as the story goes. We're just now getting to see some of those outcomes, right? With the big main event that came out of the last Proving Ground, the one before quarantine, which we talked about again Sunday night on Rasslin Rage with DTA. I think that this is going to be one of the top rivalries in the state for a while.
Well, I mean, you can't have as much talent as there is in the CIRA Clan and as much talent as there is in DTA go against each other and not have it be, it's just going to produce a lot of matches that people look back on and go, yeah, you know, that's one of my favorite matches. I think, you know, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road, we're going to get people. And when we ask them, oh, well, what made you want to be a wrestler? I think it might end up being some of these matches.
Absolutely.
This is going to be people's favorite matches.
Absolutely, especially with the influence that House of Truth has here in the state of Michigan, which, you know, we've had the privilege of being invited to come in to and interview Truth Martini and Mad Irish Eamon. Yeah, it was.
That was a fantastic interview.
Yeah.
That was so good.
That's, you kind of started coming out of your shell there, buddy.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, but with CIRA Clan versus DTA, the big thing is, like you said, this is not a old rivalry. This is not a done and over with rivalry.
No.
This is a rivalry that's still picking up steam. It's building. It's not even plateauing yet. This is going to be a long-standing, bitter feud, and I'm excited to see it.
Absolutely.
Now, going from XICW to Blue Water Championship Wrestling. Now, you know, this was the promotion where I really started going on a regular basis. Yep. And one of my favorite rivalries that happened there was Keith Sweat, Cyrus Satine, Mark Ross versus Alex Weir. And these two going at it is phenomenal. Every time they know how to get in each other's heads. They drop some of the best promos against each other. They know everything about each other's personal lives, so they can tear each other down in ways that most people can't. And they've gone against each other so many times that the beginning of almost every match is just reversal, because Cyrus knows to watch out for that kick, and Alex knows to watch out for that punch, and both of them know to watch out for that flip or that clothesline, and they know each other that well.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a piece of the table sitting behind you from Alex Weir versus Cyrus. I've got a piece of the table sitting in front of me on my computer desk. And I mean, it was an insane match. And it wasn't even the end of the insane matches that they had. No. It was a rivalry that built up, and they tore the house down every time the two of them faced each other. Absolutely. Love that rivalry.
I don't think, I'm never going to say never, but I don't think we will see those matches again, because I just don't, with Alex in the retirement home now, and Mark's down in Florida, he does come back up to Michigan, and you do see him at XI and things like that, but I just don't think we're going to see. I don't think we'll ever get to see those matches again.
And that's a shame. But I mean, hey, we're always able to see them on r2youtube.com.
Cheap plug. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's the number. Or no, that's not a number. It's a letter. Right. Screw it. I fucked it all up anyways. I can't even promo my own shit, Josh. Anyway.
You tried.
I know. There is no try. Do or do not. And I did not. All right. But yeah, that's a good one. Now, my personal homeboy, the Dread King Logan, has a good set of matches between him and Isaiah Broner, the 7 Mile Destroyer. Both respectable dudes in indie and pro wrestling, right?
Right.
Absolutely. Those two guys, some of the matches that we've seen between them, I think we've seen 2 or 3. One at BCWA and 2 at XI. Maybe 3 at XI, because there was...
I think 3 at XI, yeah.
Because there was the 2 between them individually, and then there was the 3-way with Congo Kong in them. The 3-way dance there. But we have some killer moves that's going on You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
With
yeah.
these matches. It's insane. And it just looks like they're killing each other, man. You know, they're both pretty big dudes. You know, the Dread King's pretty solid, and the Broners, you know, got some the big guns.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those are some of the ones that you can find on, you know, trying to tell people where they can find some of this stuff. But I know the Dread King has some of the nastiest hits that Isaiah Bronner's given him on his TikTok. Give that a look, because there are times where you look at it and you're like, how did he get up from that?
Yeah.
Like, that should be this match is over. Like, oh, Dread King's in a hospital and can't walk. And he got up and they continued the match.
Right.
The two beat the snot out of each other.
And they continue to do it. Right. I mean,
right.
They could be broken leg and they will still get up and beat the dog snot out of each other. Now, will we get to see more? Again, I'm not saying never. However, I think that BCWA, I think that the homeboy, my homeboy, is on a different track. I think that eventually we may see the Dread King in the mix for the heavyweight championship over that way. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, in XI, mind you, at one of the canceled shows, they were supposed to have a 4-way dance for the Proving Ground Championship. And that was supposed to be Dread King, Tommy Vendetta, Isaiah Bronner, and the Suplex Shogun. So, I mean, I think we still got, at least at XI, we've got some more Isaiah Bronner versus Dread King coming up, and that excites me.
It does. It excites me as well. It's just going to be brutal, man.
Oh, yeah. Now, most of the rivalries that we go over are the ones that we got to sit there and watch. You know, we've been in attendance. We've gotten to see the people go at it. We've got to hear the slaps, the chops, the everything. But the next one I'm going to do is actually one that I have to watch online, because I have not gotten to see this one live. But BRD versus Elradiculos they've been doing insane matches up at UCW. I mean, they recently had a ladder match, and that's not something that you really see that much in indie wrestling.
No.
And the two of them just, once again, they go back and forth at each other. And then every time that they do it, they know each other a little bit better. They know to dodge. They know to, okay, he's going low, I'm going high. And the best thing about rivalries is they know each other so well after so long that you get to see them get to a point where you're not getting that. I'm not going to make it easy for you to get that lucky shot.
Right. And,
Elradiculoso, I know your moves.
Yeah, Elradiculoso's no slouch. I mean, he's West Coast, man. He's not originally from Michigan. He's from the West Coast. He's ran with some of them boys in there in the PWG, and some of those guys that are, getting the run or doing some things in AEW now. And he's no slouch. He's been around the block. And, BRD, I mean, what, 4, maybe 5 years now, roughly? He should be about 5, maybe a little bit more in the business now. So, I mean, to be able to go toe-to-toe with somebody like Elradiculoso, who's got some more time on him, and not to say that he's old or anything like that, but as far as experience goes, Elradiculoso has got a lot of experience, and with some high-level athletes. So for BRD to be able to keep up with that level says a lot about him as well.
And it really does. I mean, like you said, it's not saying he's old. He just started wrestling really young. Right. Neither of them show any they're going at it the same way that 2 21-year-olds would go at it.
Right.
They just have the experience to do the different, and a lot of rivalries, there's still that kind of stuff of, okay, well, yeah, there's fans, we're trying to impress the fans. Elradiculoso and BRD, when they go at it, I think they would go at each other in an empty room with no one watching. Like, if BRD was going down the road and saw Elradiculoso on the corner, he might pull the car over and they're going at it on the street. That's the kind of matches that they're putting on.
Here's a question for you. I'm going to put you on the spot here. This was not discussed. All right. So you talked about BRD and you talked about that they could go and do a match in a room, right, against each other with no fans. Okay. say there were no fans, but yet people could still see it. Do you think they could tell an excellent story to keep them captivated, keep the people that are watching from outside not in attendance?
Definitely. I definitely think they could, because I mean, for years, yes, there's fans in attendance, but for years I've watched the Feds on my TV. So yeah, there's fans that are there cheering, but I'm not able to interact with those people at all. And for a lot of people, like, yes, we love indie wrestling, but and it's fantastic for indie wrestling that you can cheer and boo your favorite people and you know that they hear you. But I spent years cheering The Undertaker from my couch, and I know for a fact he could never hear me. Right. Yeah, there's fans that are there, and they can cheer, and the Undertaker can hear them, but that didn't affect how much I loved it. Yeah. And the storyline didn't really make too much of a difference. I think that if you have the right people telling the right story, you could do that easily.
So you think that BRD and Elradiculos could tell a hell of a story without fans in attendance?
Oh yeah, I could see BRD and Elradiculos doing a match kind of like the Undertaker AJ Styles at WrestleMania this year. You know, there was no fans there, and that's honestly probably one of my top 50 matches of all time.
Really? Huh. I like it.
I could see Elradiculos and BRD doing that.
Right. I like the match. I didn't have any hate towards it. It's just, you know, it's different. It's not, you know, something that we're used to, especially from the Undertaker or AJ Styles. But, you know, that's that's a different thing. We'll get into we don't talk Feds on here. But my next one, this one's been going on for a while, and it's still there. There's still it's still on the back burner, and they're always going at it in some way, right? And it's MM3 and his father, DBA. They are constantly, whether they're talking smack to each other, and it doesn't matter if they're wrestling that night or not, or whatever, they're always one-lining each other, going back and forth, and that's a hell of a thing to say, right? Because you have a father and a son, both wrestlers who are rivals. They're rivals, right? They're not together. They're rivals. Okay, they were together at one time. They were the Monroes, right? The Monroe Dynasty. Right. Okay. XICW, they're not together. I wonder if even in international, if they get along. Maybe they're just doing it because, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't, from what I see, they don't look like they like each other very much.
I mean, I'll tell you this. MM3 has said some stuff to his dad where if I would have said it to my mom, she would have knocked my teeth out my mouth. And then DBA will turn around and try to knock MM3's teeth out his mouth. Like, there are times we watch matches and I'm like, I don't know if we should be cheering or if we should be calling CPS. Like,
I wonder if DBA has ever tried to stab MM3.
Oh yes, actually, at the Kobo show, they had a cage match with each other, and he took a dagger off of the cage and started cutting and stabbing MM3 with it. I mean, when they were setting all the different stuff up, I'm sitting here like, okay, yeah, stop sign's gonna get used, the chair's gonna get used, barbed wire wrap baseball bat, that'll get used, a dagger, no one's gonna touch a dagger, and almost instantly they both went for the dagger. And this was one of my first times for XICW outside of the proving ground that I'd gone to. And I was just sitting there like, what? Isn't that your kid? Why are you stabbing your kid? Huh? Someone call someone. Well, oh, man, this is extreme intense championship wrestling. Okay.
Well, you know, and you have to think about it, too, is if this is the way they are inside the ring, imagine, like, if they were together outside the ring, like, as father and son. Holy crap. Like, you ever had that person that was like, you just hated, right? And then if you seen them, like, as soon as you see each other, you two are fighting. You know, fuck each other up.
On. Like, it's any day, anytime. Right.
You know, could you imagine Thanksgiving dinner, DBA rolls up, gets out the car, there's MM3 sitting at the table. Next thing you know, he pulls out a switchblade. He's trying to stab him and everybody going at it. You know what I'm saying? I could see it
Right?
happening. I could see it happening.
I don't
Right?
know. I feel like Mama Monroe might keep order for the whole thing. Like Thanksgiving is the no, you guys are doing that. BBA pulls out a knife, goes to stab. He's like, no, I'm cutting the turkey, Mom. I'm cutting the turkey.
For one damn night, you two are gonna get along.
Exactly. Grandma don't mess around. That's how it works.
That's true.
Now, my next one is, oh man, there have been so many clips of this that have gone around online. Alex Weir versus Nolan Edwards. And that was just a match where one of my favorite things about indie wrestling is when you get two people that start dropping really good promos against each other. And Alex Weir will drop amazing promos against people. And I remember for a while just sitting there like, is anyone even going to get on his level with this? And then Nolan started dropping promos back against him. And there was about 4-week span where they're just going back and forth, 2-3 promos a week going back and forth at each other, that when they finally got in the ring and started ripping each other apart, it was at the Sweet Daddy Monroe Memorial Show. You had Alex jump off the second story basically onto Nolan. That whole match was absolutely insane. That's one of the moments that I have saved in my phone. And when people go, why do you go to so much indie wrestling? I go, all right, you want to see something cool? There's this.
How about this? Hold on, check this out. You ever show them the flaming elbow?
All the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Normally, like every time we get back from XI, my friend, why are you so tired? Oh, I was up till like midnight because I got back from XI. Well, why are you staying there so late? Here you go.
Check us out, man. It was so cool. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Nolan Edwards versus Alex Weir is it was on a whole different level. Yeah, it was like Alex and, it was fantastic. I loved it.
There was a match, if I'm not mistaken, before the Sweet Daddy Malcolm Monroe show that happened between those two.
Oh yeah.
And I believe that there was a couple times where Alex came out while Nolan was having a match and attacked Nolan. And I don't think Nolan ever, I could be wrong, but I don't think Nolan ever attacked Alex.
He never came out and attacked him. He did come out in Alex Weir's outfit, though, and distracted him and made him lose a match.
I think it's funny, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That was a good one. Surely was. And I don't know if we'll ever get to see that one either because, Nolan's not in Michigan anymore. And to my understanding, he's not in Michigan anymore. And Alex is in the retirement home. Again, in the retirement home.
We can do retirement home matches.
We're going to do something. We're going to go drag
someone gets hit in the back with a walker.
Beat him with an aluminum bat or something. I don't know.
Right.
But you get to say somebody 2 times, right? Twice. So I'm going to say somebody twice. Okay.
All right.
This rivalry has gone through multiple promotions, multiple times and time frames, and it's just reoccurring, right? You think you see an end to it, and it happens again, or something happens, right? Blake and MM3. The last time I seen these two go at each other was after it was at Tri-City Wrestling in Bay City, Michigan. I don't remember the exact date. And they had a match together as a tag team. And afterwards, Blake gave M3 the business. And I was excited. And I'll tell you why. Because so many times I've seen it the other way around. It was about damn time that I get to see Blake get one up.
About time, yeah.
To finally see it. And then, man. Then later on, there was a battle royal, and MM3 pile drived Blake into a steel chair. And it wasn't cool. But, I mean, it was cool to watch, but it wasn't cool for Blake, right? But,
yeah.
These two, both great wrestlers, tell a great story in the ring. They keep you captivated, and you're waiting for what's going to happen next, right? You're like, right? The whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. with both of these guys. And I don't know if we're going to see more of these matches between these two. We may at Tri-City. We don't know. However, this is a great rivalry. And these, because this is kind of the student and teacher type thing, right? Because MM3's
Right.
taught Blake and, not everybody, but, hasn't taught him everything, but has taught him pieces, right? So great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Now, what I love about this rivalry is normally when you get two people that know each other so much, it's because of them facing each other time and time and time again. But with Blake and MM3, like you said, that was MM3 was showing Blake some stuff. They became friends. They're tag team partners for a long time. And they knew each other because they had to know each other to be the amazing tag team that they were. And then when MM3 was turning on Blake, and it just became a bloodbath. And I love when they go back and forth with each other because you get more flashy moves. You're getting more over the top kind of stuff. And I'm excited now that we have Blake back. I mean, a lot of these rivalries, you've been saying, hey, we're probably not going to get that again. We're probably not going to get that again. But now that we've got Blake back, and in my mind, Blake looks better than he has ever been.
And not only does he
wait
look
for the
better,
time it happens again.
Not only does he look better, he's better mentally, and you can tell that confidence level.
Exactly.
When we've interviewed him, right? And then I've interviewed him before that, previously at a BCWA show. Matter of fact, it was before his main event against the main event, Justin Mayhem, for the Blue Water Championship Wrestling title. And the fire I seen in Blake that night, I wasn't ready for. I wasn't. I truly was not ready for that. When I interviewed him that night, I was not ready for that. I was not. And he caught me by surprise. We did another interview at BCWA with all of us after he and Elradiculos kind of got into it after their match that they had.
And he did a frog splash 30 feet in the air.
Right. And to listen to him from then till now, the growth is amazing, right? There's a lot of growth there, mentally, physically, and everything else. And I'm really excited. I am really excited to see Blake and what he's got, and what he's got in his, what he's going to do, and what he's got in the tank.
Like you said, there's a fire that's in him, and he is going to burn the world down with it. I'm excited to watch it.
Absolutely.
So you've had your 4. My last one, and mind you, this has been in no particular order, so I'm not saying my 4th one. I'm just saying the last one we're going to talk about is a tag team rivalry that I absolutely loved from from Blue Water Championship Wrestling, and it was Muscles and Mayhem versus Roach. Now,
before you get too far involved, some of those people out here may not know who Muscles and Mayhem are. So please tell these wonderful viewers.
Muscles and Mayhem was a tag team for Blue Water Championship Wrestling. They were put together to face for the tag team championship and ended up winning it.
Yeah.
And that was James Alexander Wrestling and Buddy Hamlin.
Yeah.
And that was a match of two strong guys that just went out there. They did not like each other, and they constantly went out all the time, and they beat the snot out of other people to one-up each other. It was, I can hit them harder, I can hit them faster, I can lift them higher, I can pin them quicker than anything you can do. And that made an amazing tag team.
Right. It was more like a competition between them than it was a match. And I really do think that Buddy Hamlin brought an evil side out of James Alexander that we hadn't seen before.
Oh yeah.
But
it was fantastic.
Eventually,
and Roach, And Roach, if you don't know who Roach is, because I know they've been spending more time down in Ohio at Future Great Wrestling, but it's Radicals of the Radical Organization Against Champions and Heroes, Roach. And they're a tag team that's fantastic. In my mind, they're like they're kind of like Beetlejuice meets the Road Warriors. Okay. And they started a campaign against Muscles and Mayhem where not only did they were facing them and they were losing, but they were eating at the spirit and the soul of Buddy. And there was a way to take away half the tag team and you beat the tag team.
Right.
And ultimately there ended up being a point in time where Roach was able to mentally beat Buddy enough that Buddy's been gone. There is no more Buddy. He's done and over. We
never did see him again. He disappeared.
Right. They got him to a point where they were able to put a collar around him. I mean, he submitted to them putting a collar on him and walking out the ring after beating up James Alexander and losing the championship. So we got Roach as the Blue Water Championship Wrestling Tag Team champions because they were able to mentally beat down Buddy Halen to such a point that he submitted to their will. And that's something that you don't really see that much in rivalries. It wasn't a thing of this is a fight and the fight ends. And normally with the best rivalries, you get to a point where they respect each other almost because they know the hell they put each other through. Roach destroyed the spirit, destroyed the man, and ended the rivalry that way.
Yeah. And there's been a member of Roach to guest host Rasslin Rage on a couple different occasions. Arabella. She's
oh yeah.
She's been on. She's a little evil, man. She gives me shit.
Hey, she only gives you what you deserve.
Oh, shut up. Listen to you. You bastard. Anyways, so that's our 4 that we have for, his 4, my 4. If you disagree, agree, whatever, that's cool. But, I'm sure there's many, many more out there that you can think of. But if we missed, I wouldn't say we missed any because these are 4 that we liked. If there's some that you can think of, put them down in the comments down below. And we'll comment back what we think or, like that's a good one or something like that. But we will comment. So go ahead and do that right now. Do it.
I love doing these different conversations with you, Cody. I really think that they're fun and they're fun to listen to when you download them on Podbean. Great for long car trips or for when I'm mowing the lawn. We even have a link so that you can get a free month of your own podcast.
Wait a minute. You don't even have that big of a lawn.
Yeah. I'm slow mowing the lawn though. So.
Right. It's a shameless plug, but I'll allow it. Thank you. If you're watching on Facebook or listening on Podbean, make sure to head on over to Rasslin Rage's YouTube channel. Give us a like and subscribe to keep Danny away because he's kind of scary. We also would like to thank our sponsors, BCWA and Happy Harper Ice Cream.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of Michigan Independent Weekly. Make sure to join us Sunday at 8 p.m. for Rasslin Rage Live. And make sure to check out the Jesse Black interview on Wednesday and Tommy Vendetta on Friday. I hope you guys have great times ahead of you. Stay safe. And on behalf of MIW, I'm Josh.
And I'm Cody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We will see you next week.
I want